Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're literally digging deep into a story that is right under our feet.
So let's just get this out of the way right now. Is soil just dirt? You know, the stuff you get on your shoes and just try to wipe off?
Well, it's not. Not even close. The truth is, beneath your feet is this incredible, complex biography of the land. Each layer tells a different chapter of its history, from ancient floods to the forest that stood right there centuries ago.
And scientists have a name for this vertical story. They call it a soil profile. And it's the absolute key to understanding the land's past, its present, and even its future. It's kind of like taking a core sample of time itself.
Okay, so here's our plan for this explainer. We're going to journey straight down, starting with the hidden story at the surface, traveling through those middle layers, and ending up at the rocky foundation. We'll also get into how to read the soil story, and, maybe most importantly, why any of this actually matters.
All right, first stop, the most biologically active zone. This is where all the magic happens. This is where almost all life as we know it really gets its start.
Right at the very top, you've got the O horizon. The O stands for organic. You should think of it as the soil's built-in compost bin and its protective blanket, all rolled into one. It's this rich, dark layer of decaying life that feeds everything below it.
Just below that, we hit the A horizon, which is what we all know as topsoil. And let me tell you, this layer is a powerhouse. It's like a bustling city of roots, microbes, and nutrients. It is the single most important layer for growing our food, and its health directly impacts our own.
Now, as we dig deeper, we're entering a totally different zone. It's less about all that biological life and way more about chemistry. It's kind of like the soil's circulatory system. In this zone, there's a process happening called eluviation. Think of it as washing out. See, as water trickles down through this layer, the E horizon, it pulls minerals and tiny clay particles with it, leaching them deeper into the ground. And that's why this layer is often much lighter in color. It's literally been washed out. So where does all that washed out stuff go? It ends up right here, in the B horizon, or the subsoil. This is the zone of accumulation. This is where a process called eluviation happens, the depositing in part. Think of it as the soil's pantry. It's often dense and super colorful with reds and yellows from all the iron and clay it has stored up. And this layer is absolutely crucial for the long-term health of the entire soil profile.
Okay, let's make our final descent. We're going to see how all of this is built from the very bottom up. We're getting down to the source code of the soil itself.
We've now reached the C horizon. This is the parent material. It's this interesting in-between stuff. It's not quite soil, but it's not solid rock either. It's basically weathered, broken up raw material that all those complex layers above were slowly, painstakingly formed from over thousands and thousands of years. And finally, we hit bottom, the R horizon. R for rock, bedrock. This is it, the solid geological foundation. It's the ultimate parent of the parent material, and its presence pretty much determines everything, from how deep the soil can get to where the groundwater is going to flow.
So we've seen all the layers now, but how do we actually read the story they're telling us? How do you translate this vertical map?
Well, it all comes down to these 5 key factors. You can honestly think of it like a recipe. The parent material, that's your main ingredient. Climate is the oven temperature. The organisms, they are like the yeast. Relief, that's the shape of your pan. And time, that's how long you let it cook. If you change any one of those things, you get a completely different soil. One of the most immediate clues is just staring us in the face, color. It is a really powerful tool. As you can see here, dark soils usually mean rich organic matter. They're basically screaming, I'm fertile. Reds and yellows tell you there's a lot of iron. And those pale grays, well, they can be a warning sign of heavy leaching or maybe even poor drainage.
Another huge clue is texture. You know how the soil actually feels. And it's not just one thing. It's the specific mix of sand, silt, and clay. That ratio determines how the soil holds water, how it supports life. The perfect mix for a lot of plants, what's often called loam, has a nice balanced proportion, kind of like the one you see in this chart here.
So we've been deep underground. You might be thinking, this is cool, but why should I really care what's happening dozens of feet below the surface? Well, it turns out this hidden story impacts almost every single aspect of our lives.
For farmers, being able to read the soil profile is, well, it's everything. It's the difference between a bumper crop and a failed field. It tells them what to plant, how to fertilize, and exactly how much water to use.
And for engineers, it's just as critical. The soil profile tells them whether the ground can actually support a skyscraper, or if a new road is just going to buckle and crack in a few years. It's the secret to designing stable foundations that are built to last.
And for the entire planet, the soil profile is the foundation of whole ecosystems. It acts as a massive filter for our drinking water, a huge storage tank for carbon, and it's the literal groundwork that supports all life on land.
So the crucial thing to remember is that this layered story isn't just some academic exercise. It has profound, real-world consequences for our food, our cities, and the health of our environment.
So, the next time you're walking outside or you see a road cut into a hill, or even just dig in your garden, remember, there's an entire biography waiting to be read, a history of the land written right there in layers of earth, which kind of leaves us with one final thought. The ground is always talking. Are we taking the time to listen?